The 10 hidden secrets of the Vatican that might surprise you. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking you on a fascinating journey through the mysteries and lesser-known facts about the Vatican. It's time to discover some of the most intriguing details about this unique city. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of our future episodes exploring the amazing wonders of the world. Also, feel free to drop a comment below and let us know which of these secrets left you amazed. Number 10. What are the Vatican walls made of? The Vatican walls are built from bricks and tuff, a type of volcanic rock. These walls stretch about 3.2 kilometers long and stand 36 feet tall. There are 44 towers along the wall, originally used for defense, but today, many of them serve as bell towers or observation points. The walls were first constructed in the 9th century by Pope Leo IV to protect the Vatican from invaders. Later, in the 16th century, Pope Pius IV reinforced them. These days, the walls are more of a symbolic boundary and help regulate access to Vatican City. If you look closely, you'll notice the wall is crowned with a crenellated walkway, which guards once used to patrol the area. There are several gates in the wall, including the Porta Sant'Anna, the Porta Angelica, and the Porta Santa. The Porta Angelica, located along the Leonine Wall, is one of the main entrances for visitors arriving from St. Peter's Square. Number 9. Why is the Vatican surrounded by walls? The Vatican's walls have deep historical significance, rooted in the need for protection and defense. During the medieval and Renaissance periods, when threats of invasion and attack were common, building walls around important cities and territories was essential for survival. The Vatican, being at the heart of the Catholic Church and home to the Pope, was a prime target for enemies. Throughout history, the Papal State, which encompassed Vatican City until 1870, faced numerous conflicts from neighboring territories, political rivals, and even foreign invaders. The walls were originally constructed to shield the Pope, church leaders, and religious treasures from danger. However, the walls served more than just a defensive purpose. They provided a means of asserting control over who could enter and leave Vatican City. With limited access points, the Vatican could regulate entry, ensuring that only authorized individuals were allowed inside, which was crucial for maintaining order and safety within the Holy City. In times of political unrest or external threats, the walls gave the Pope and his advisors a secure environment to continue their work. As centuries passed and external threats diminished, the walls took on a more symbolic role. Today, they are still used to regulate entry into Vatican City, controlling the flow of tourists and pilgrims from around the world. The walls offer a sense of privacy and isolation, allowing the Vatican to remain a tranquil and secure space amidst the hustle and bustle of Rome. While their defensive role may no longer be needed in the modern age, the Vatican's walls still stand as a powerful reminder of the city's rich history and the importance of safeguarding the center of the Catholic Church. Number 8. The Vatican is a city. Yes, the Vatican is indeed a city, but it's also much more than that. It's the smallest independent city-state in the world. It was officially established as a sovereign state in 1929 through the Lateran Treaty, signed between the Holy See, the central governing body of the Catholic Church, and the Kingdom of Italy. This treaty ended a long-standing dispute between the Italian government and the papacy over control of Rome. By signing the treaty, the Vatican gained its independence and became a recognized city-state. The Vatican City has its own unique governance system, with its own laws, institutions, and even its own security forces, known as the Swiss Guard. It operates with a postal system and, until 2002, issued its own currency called the Vatican Lira before adopting the euro. Although it's incredibly small, covering just 44 hectares, which is about 1/8 the size of New York City's Central Park, the Vatican maintains diplomatic relationships with numerous countries and actively participates in international organizations and events. Despite its small size, the Vatican City is home to only a few hundred residents, most of whom are clergy members, including the Pope himself. As the head of both the Catholic Church and the Vatican City, the Pope holds both spiritual and temporal power, making him responsible not only for the Church's religious leadership, but also for the governance of the Vatican City. This tiny city-state is steeped in religious, historical, and political significance, functioning as the epicenter of the Roman Catholic faith and a symbol of its rich traditions. The Vatican stands as a unique blend of ancient customs and modern governance, truly making it one of the most fascinating cities in the world. Number 7. At times, popes escaped through a secret passageway. Throughout history, there have been moments when popes had to escape Vatican City using secret passageways, especially during periods of political unrest or threats to their safety. One notable example is the Passetto di Borgo, an underground passage that connects the Vatican to Castel Sant'Angelo, a nearby fortress. This passage was crucial during dangerous times and allowed popes to flee without being detected. One of the most famous instances occurred in 1527 during the sack of Rome. Pope Clement VII used the Passetto to escape to the safety of Castel Sant'Angelo as the troops of the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V invaded the city. At that time, Pope Clement VII was inside the Vatican Palace when the invasion began, and by using the secret passage, he managed to avoid capture and potential harm. Castel Sant'Angelo, originally built as a mausoleum for Emperor Hadrian, served both as a papal residence and a fortress during turbulent times. The Passetto has long symbolized the link between the Vatican and Castel Sant'Angelo, used not only for defensive purposes but also for ceremonial processions and as a private route for popes to travel between the two locations. While the Passetto is the most well-known secret passage associated with the Vatican, it's believed that other hidden routes and passageways exist, adding to the mystique of the Vatican's history and its ability to keep secrets. These passageways stand as silent witnesses to the Vatican's long history of survival through times of turmoil. Number 6. The Vatican's Secret Archives. The Vatican's secret archives house a vast collection of documents that span centuries, preserving the rich history and governance of the Catholic Church. This archive contains everything from papal correspondence and historical records to papal bulls, decrees, and diplomatic letters. Some of these documents date as far back as the 8th century, making the archives an invaluable resource for researchers studying church history and global events. Though the archives were officially established in 1612 by Pope Paul V, the preservation of papal records began much earlier. Over the centuries, the collection has continued to grow, maintaining records that are essential not just for the Church but for historians worldwide. The contents offer insights into the decisions made by popes, the diplomatic relations between the Vatican and other countries, and key events that shaped the world. Despite the allure of these archives, they are not open to the general public. Access is granted only to select scholars and researchers, and even they can only view specific documents upon request. This restricted access adds to the mystery surrounding the archives, fueling countless theories and speculations about the hidden knowledge locked within. From major religious decisions to secret political dealings, the Vatican's secret archives remain one of the most intriguing and guarded collections in the world, continuing to be actively maintained and expanded even today. Number 5. St. Peter's Basilica sits atop a city of the dead, including its namesake's tomb. St. Peter's Basilica, one of the most iconic landmarks in Vatican City, is built directly over an ancient necropolis, a city of the dead. Among the graves beneath the basilica is the tomb believed to belong to St. Peter, one of Jesus Christ's 12 apostles and regarded as the first pope. According to historical accounts and Catholic tradition, St. Peter was martyred in Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero in the 1st century AD. It is believed that after his martyrdom, St. Peter was buried in a simple grave within this necropolis. The presence of St. Peter's tomb beneath the basilica holds immense importance for the Catholic Church, as he is considered the foundational figure of the Church. For Catholics, this sacred site symbolizes the direct link between the Church's beginnings and its current leadership, making St. Peter's Basilica not only an architectural marvel but also a deeply spiritual place for millions of believers. This connection to St. Peter adds an extraordinary layer of religious and historical significance to the basilica, making it one of the most revered pilgrimage sites in the world. Number 4. Who built the Vatican Church? The building of the Vatican Church, specifically St. Peter's Basilica, was a massive project that took centuries to complete. It involved the efforts of many architects, artists, and skilled craftsmen. The process began in the early 16th century when Pope Julius II decided to rebuild the old St. Peter's Basilica, which had fallen into disrepair. He wanted something grander, a new basilica that would reflect the power and glory of the Church. To make his vision a reality, Pope Julius II hired one of the greatest architects of that time, Donato Bramante. Bramante, an Italian architect famous for his work in the high Renaissance style, designed an ambitious plan for the new basilica. His original design was a Greek cross layout, with equal arms and a massive dome at the center, symbolizing the grandeur of heaven. This was a bold and revolutionary idea, and Bramante's work set the stage for what would become one of the most iconic churches in the world. However, Bramante didn't see the project through to the end. After his death, several other architects stepped in to continue the work. These included Antonio da Sangallo the Younger, who made adjustments to the original plan, and Michelangelo, who, despite being more famous for his sculptures and paintings, took on the task of improving Bramante's design. Michelangelo redesigned the dome, making it even larger and more impressive. In the 17th century, Gian Lorenzo Bernini, another Italian architect and sculptor, left his mark on St. Peter's Basilica. Bernini was responsible for many of the features that define the basilica today. He designed the grand colonnade in St. Peter's Square, which welcomes visitors with its open arms, and the baldachin, a large bronze canopy that stands over the main altar. He also sculpted several massive statues that adorn the piazza, contributing to the basilica's awe-inspiring atmosphere. Over the centuries, many other talented architects and artists, such as Giacomo della Porta and Domenico Fontana, played crucial roles in constructing and decorating the basilica. Together, their work has made St. Peter's Basilica not only the center of the Catholic Church, but also one of the greatest architectural achievements in history. Number 3. How did the Vatican become a country? Before Vatican City became its own country, the Pope ruled over a large region in central Italy known as the Papal States. For centuries, the Pope was not only the spiritual leader of the Catholic Church but also the political ruler of these lands. However, in the 19th century, things began to change. Italian nationalist movements, which aimed to unify the entire Italian peninsula into one nation, grew stronger. These movements wanted to bring the Papal States under one united Italy. In 1870, a turning point came when the Kingdom of Italy, under King Victor Emmanuel II, captured Rome. This event effectively ended the Pope's control over the Papal States. Rome, which was once under the Pope's rule, became part of the newly unified Italy. The Pope lost his temporal or political power and became isolated within the Vatican. The popes of this period referred to themselves as prisoners of the Vatican, as they refused to acknowledge the new Italian state and stayed confined within the Vatican walls. This situation continued for nearly 60 years until a solution was finally reached in 1929. On February 11th of that year, An agreement known as the Lateran Treaty was signed between the Holy See, the Pope's government, and the Kingdom of Italy. The treaty was historic because it officially recognized Vatican City as an independent, sovereign state, separate from Italy. It granted the Pope full control over Vatican City while also acknowledging Italy's sovereignty over the rest of Rome and surrounding areas. The Lateran Treaty didn't just stop at recognizing the Vatican as a state. It also addressed other important issues. For example, it guaranteed the protection of religious freedom in Italy and provided financial compensation to the Church for the lands it had lost when the Papal States were taken. It also declared Catholicism as the official religion of Italy at that time, though this would change later on. As a result of the Lateran Treaty, Vatican City became the smallest independent country in the world, covering only 44 hectares, about 110 acres. The Pope was given full sovereign authority and acts as the head of state, with absolute power over the governance of the Vatican. To this day, Vatican City remains a unique country, entirely within the city of Rome, yet completely independent, serving as the spiritual and administrative center of the Catholic Church. Number 2. Why do popes refuse to leave the Vatican? Throughout history, there have been times when popes chose not to leave the Vatican for long periods, and this decision was often deeply symbolic. One of the main reasons behind this was the loss of the Papal States, which occurred after the capture of Rome in 1870. Before this event, the popes had not only been the spiritual leaders of the Catholic Church, but also the rulers of a large territory known as the Papal States, which covered a significant part of central Italy. However, in the 19th century, the Kingdom of Italy was formed, and Italian nationalists sought to unify the entire peninsula. This led to the eventual capture of Rome by the forces of King Victor Emmanuel II, and the Papal States were absorbed into the new Kingdom of Italy. This marked the end of the Pope's temporal, or political power over these lands. The Pope was no longer a ruler of a vast territory but was confined to the Vatican, a much smaller space. In response to this loss, some popes decided to remain within the Vatican, refusing to leave as a form of silent protest. They viewed their refusal to step outside the Vatican as a statement against the Italian government's actions and a rejection of their new political reality. By staying inside, they symbolically expressed their discontent with the loss of their temporal authority. This period of isolation lasted for decades, with popes considering themselves prisoners of the Vatican. They believed that leaving the Vatican would mean accepting the new Italian state and recognizing the end of their former power. During this time, popes refused to participate in public events or ceremonies outside the Vatican, further reinforcing the idea that they were holding on to what little autonomy they had left. It wasn't until the Lateran Treaty of 1929 that this situation was resolved. The treaty recognized Vatican City as an independent state and granted the Pope full authority over it. After this, the popes were no longer prisoners and could leave the Vatican freely, but the historical significance of their earlier decision to stay confined within its walls remains a powerful reminder of the Church's complex relationship with political power. Number 1. The Swiss Guard, the Pope's protectors. The Swiss Guard is a unique and fascinating part of Vatican history. This small but highly trained military force has served as the official bodyguard of the popes and protector of Vatican City for centuries. The Swiss Guard was originally established in 1506 by Pope Julius II, during a time when the Papal States were facing many security threats. At that time, Pope Julius II needed a reliable and skilled force to protect both him and the Vatican. He turned to Switzerland, known for producing some of the best and most loyal soldiers in Europe. Swiss mercenaries had earned a reputation across Europe as being exceptional fighters, known for their discipline, loyalty, and courage. Because of this, Pope Julius II recruited Swiss soldiers to serve as his personal bodyguards. This marked the beginning of the Swiss Guard, which has been protecting the popes ever since. To this day, the Swiss Guard is composed exclusively of Swiss citizens. Every soldier who joins the Guard must meet strict criteria. To qualify, a candidate must be a Swiss national, Catholic, and have completed military training in Switzerland. The selection process is highly competitive, and only those who demonstrate physical and moral excellence are accepted. Once chosen, they serve for a specific term, during which they take on the responsibility of safeguarding the Pope and ensuring the security of Vatican City. One of the most striking features of the Swiss Guard is their colorful uniform, which is easily recognizable. The uniform is based on fashion from the Renaissance period and consists of a bright blue doublet, jacket, paired with red, yellow, and orange striped trousers. Soldiers also wear a black beret and carry a halberd, a traditional weapon that is part spear and part axe, as a symbol of their role in defending the Pope. This vibrant uniform is not just for show, it is a tribute to the long history of the Swiss Guard and their centuries of service. Despite their ceremonial appearance, the Swiss Guard remains a serious and well-trained military force. While their uniform may look historical, their duties are very real. They are responsible for guarding the Pope during public appearances, ensuring the security of Vatican City, and being ready to respond to any potential threats. Though small in number, their commitment to the Pope and their rigorous training make them a powerful and highly respected unit. The Swiss Guard has become an iconic symbol of the Vatican, representing both its deep historical roots and its commitment to preserving tradition while adapting to the challenges of modern times. And there you have it, the 10 hidden secrets of the Vatican that are sure to leave you intrigued. Be sure to join us next time as we uncover more hidden gems and fascinating places from around the world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exciting content. Until then, keep exploring. Thank you.